Hola a todos y bienvenidos a Aventuras de Blazwood. Continuamos con Asesinato de Orient Express. Tenía que hablar con esta porque es la última persona que vio a Ratchet.
So, my friend, have you found our killer?
Not yet, but I will tell you what I have learned.
Please.
Our assassin could have gotten on the train at Vinkovsky disguised as a conductor, entered Ratchet's room and killed him. Then he walked out through Madame Hubbard's connecting door, where he lost a button from his jacket. He had to wait for Monsieur Michel to be absent. He waited too long. The train had left the station.
He was trapped aboard.
Indeed. He had opened the window to make it look that he'd escaped that way. However, if he waited until the train stopped again due to snow, his footprints would have been found.
The murderer is still among us, on the train.
There's a problem with the second-class toilets.
What now?
All morning passengers have been complaining that the door is locked, so I went to check. I knocked, but no one answered. I didn't think I should open it without speaking to you first.
You did well, Monsieur Michel. Lead the way.
Vaya. Está
I
Cacamán.
use my master key.
But who is she? Is she alive?
¿Qué puñetas?
She is breathing.
Then if she isn't dead, isn't she our murderer?
That, my friend, is what we must find out.
Una mujer tirada por los suelos.
Miss, can you hear me? She's breathing. Her pulse is strong. There is no sign of physical violence. This woman is sleeping very soundly.
Vaya. Eso sí que es tener un sueño. Es decir, borrachos. Joanna Locke. ¿Algo más?
The ticket reads Joanna Locke, traveling in compartment 105. This woman is sound asleep. Given her location, I would say she has been drugged and deposited here.
Well, at least it's not another murder on my train.
The train is, of course, full.
Monsieur, the list I gave you indicates that Hildegard Schmidt shares her compartment.
I will want to talk to her later. For now, we will concentrate on this mysterious young lady. Let's return her to her more comfortable bed.
Good idea. Pierre, locate this woman's room and fetch the doctor.
Yes, sir.
I will question her when she wakes up.
Please, let me know what you learn.
Mademoiselle Locke's compartment is 105. I suggest we return her to her more comfortable bed.
Yes, hopefully she will awaken soon.
Veamos, ¿qué tenemos por aquí? Tenemos positos.
A cup of tea with white residue at the bottom.
Tiene mucho azúcar. Ese movimiento de brazo errático a lo Slenderman. Vaya, una combinación.
A briefcase and a wagon-lee conductor's jacket. And the button is missing.
Usa el sonido.
No, that's mine. I never remember my passwords,
¿Qué?
so I make them easy ones. Poirot, I'm disappointed in you. I was certain you would have it by now. Have you tried 1, 2, 3, 4? Poirot, what if the briefcase is booby-trapped? If you need a break, I can ask Jean to make you some coffee. So, Poirot, any luck so far? We really need to find the combination. Have you tried 0000? But of course you know what you're doing. It is booby-trapped, is it? No, that's mine. I never remember my passwords, so I make them easy ones. Poirot, what if the briefcase is booby-trapped? We really need to find the combination.
Pero será posible.
Have you tried 1, 2, 3, 4? So, Poirot. But of course you know. If you have you. If you.
Book. Silent like a mouse, please.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'll be quiet now. You need to concentrate. I will not utter another word. Not one.
Book. There will be another murder on the Orient Express in a moment.
Vale, no esperaba que fuese... Cositos.
She has a gun.
Come, Poirot. Criminals are often known to carry one.
Ratchet was stabbed, not shot. But then why take it on the train? Her driver's license confirms her identity. She is American.
These are fake IDs. It's certain.
The stuffed animal is the same as in the photo found at the crime scene.
What a coincidence.
Mademoiselle Locke appears to have been investigating Monsieur Ratchet. This badge says that Joanna Locke is an American detective with the Berkshire Police Department in Massachusetts.
An American police officer? Oh.
Oh.
Mademoiselle Locke seems very interested in our victim.
Of course. She has studied her target.
Possibly.
Sí.
Look, she's waking up.
Thanks to you, I would not be surprised if our murder victim were also waking up.
What?
Oh, my head. What's all the yelling about?
Who are you? Give me a good reason why you should not be in handcuffs.
I can give you a reason, Book. Whose handcuffs will we use? I have none. Do you?
Well,
You are Joanna Locke, mademoiselle?
Yes, Joanna Locke. I'm a detective. Berkshire, Massachusetts Police.
I have found your credentials, mademoiselle.
And I know who you are, Mr. Poirot.
Then, if the introductions are complete, perhaps the explanations may begin.
I'll try. It's simple, really. I'm on the trail of a murderer.
Seguro que la señora Hubbard tiene unas esposas. Tiene pinta viciosa.
I had just been promoted to detective after 5 years on patrol. It was my first time on a major case. It had been a month since Daisy Armstrong was kidnapped. The Armstrongs were desperate for some sign of hope. I was there only for paperwork, to fill in some blanks. A topographical map, often more important than a road map in these mountains. The investigation is now part of a pile of investigations, and my captain sent me here just to dot some I's and cross some T's.
Vale.
The crime was audacious. How could the kidnapper know which was the window of Daisy's room? No, they could use a ladder to reach it, and no, they could enter the room without being seen. The misspellings are clearly on purpose, and they didn't return the child when the ransom was paid. How could the child be taken with so many people in the house?
Así que dejaron sola a la niña.
I can't imagine the pain her parents felt when they realized Daisy was gone. How are they going to feel when they realize I have no answers for them? Only more questions.
A las 10:30 subió. La niña estaba sola y esperaba que la niñera volviera. 20 minutos después...
That's why I'm here. A damn computer glitch. Or somebody pushed delete instead of save. Whatever happened, we lost the nanny's deposition. So my entire contribution to the investigation is to take it again.
Genial.
The phone record of the night of the kidnapping. The last call was for 911.
John Armstrong y Susan llamaron a este número. Que es el de Sonia Armstrong. Sonia Armstrong llama a su marido. Sonia Armstrong llama a Susan. John Armstrong llama a Sonia Armstrong. Susan llama a Sonia Armstrong. Susan llama a... durante 35 minutos a un teléfono. Y luego 911. Interesante. Pum. Pedazo de casa. Pedazo de terreno.
Good evening. Colonel Armstrong?
Yes. You're the detective they phoned about.
Joanna Locke.
I don't remember you.
I'm newly assigned to the case.
It's about time more detectives were involved. My wife, Sonia, she hasn't been herself. Every day is a waking nightmare for us. Tell me you've uncovered something new.
I'm here to speak to your daughter's nanny. There was a computer problem. Her earlier statement has been lost.
Oh, I see. We had hoped. Well, do as you wish. I won't be far if you need me.
Their fairy tale became a nightmare.
How are you doing? Are you holding up?
Como se espera.
In the military, you're supposed to have the stiffest of upper lips. The Desert War taught me that soon enough. But this, it's difficult. Damned difficult. Harder on my good lady, of course.
Do you know where I can find Miss Moreau?
Her room is upstairs across the hall from Daisy's. She seldom leaves it.
I won't be long.
Take whatever time you need.
I've earned a gold mustache.
Los bigotes se vuelven sospechosamente extraños.
Sympathy and support for the Armstrong family during this difficult time. Thoughtful, but never enough.
Se vuelven muy extraños. Aparecen en los lugares más insospechados.
What a dear child.
Vale.
The world through the eyes of a child seems so sweet. A toy castle. When I was a kid, I had a police station and a tiny squad car with a siren that really worked. Help yourself, Joanna. You earned it.
Mrs. Armstrong, my name is Joanna Locke. I'm a detective investigating the kidnapping of your daughter. May I talk to you? When is your baby due? Mrs. Armstrong? Sonia?
I don't want to talk. I just want to see my daughter again. That's all that matters.
Poor woman. I I can't imagine how she feels. And another baby on the way? I want to help, but I'm here to take the nanny's statement, and there are no words I can think of to ease Sonia's pain. Nothing shocks me here. Everything looks okay here. Nothing shocks me here. That is a great detective job.
Mrs. Armstrong? Let me show you this.
Daisy, my little Daisy. I miss her so much. How good it is to see her face.
I can't imagine the pain you're feeling right now.
She loved her little stuffed animal, Fluffy. She took him everywhere with her. The kidnappers took it as well. They didn't have to. That means they wouldn't hurt her, doesn't it?
Every lead will be followed up. You have my word on that.
Thank you. I shouldn't lose hope. Somehow.
I know it isn't my case, but I just made a promise, and I mean to keep it.
Do you know where I can find Miss Moreau?
She's in her room. Last door on the left.
May I come back? If I have more questions?
Of course. Anything I can do.
Pero señora, han pasado varios días desde la desaparición de su hija. Sigue teniendo el traje de fiesta. Y el maquillaje no la ayuda. Lady Mapache. Gatete. Unas buenas vistas.
A toy train. Now here I am on a real one. Lyon, in France. What a lovely looking city.
Hello, are you Suzanne Moreau, Daisy's nanny?
Yes?
I'm Joanna Locke, a detective working on Daisy's case.
Is there any news?
I'm afraid not.
How can I help you?
I'm really sorry. I'm afraid I have to take your statement again concerning the evening of Daisy's disappearance. There was a computer problem. Your statement was accidentally deleted.
Of course. I want to help any way I can.
Tell me about that night in your own words.
The Armstrongs had a party. To raise money for a museum, I think. Mrs. Armstrong is on their board. I was in charge of Daisy. I stayed with the little one all evening, playing with her and reading books to her. She couldn't sleep with all the noise and the comings and goings.
Normal. Les gusta el ajetreo. Quería saber qué pasaba y por qué no puede estar con la fiesta de mayores.
When did you notice Daisy was missing?
I was only gone 5 minutes to phone my mother. She's in the hospital. When I returned, Daisy wasn't in her bed. I thought she might have gone to look at the party, but then I saw the ransom note on her pillow. I screamed and screamed. I couldn't stop.
Did you notice anything unusual before that?
I was with Daisy all evening. Finally, she fell asleep. I didn't see anyone else or notice anything in particular.
Do you have any idea who did this?
No! I can't see who could have done such a horrible thing. The Armstrongs are such good people. Like my own family.
Thank you for giving me your statement again. I'll get back to you if I have any questions.
I won't be far.
Okay, I have Suzanne's statement, but her answers need some checking.
Veamos.
This information does not correspond to what Suzanne told me. Suzanne said she left Daisy alone for 5 minutes, but Mrs. Armstrong says she stayed with Daisy for a while and Suzanne did not return. Hey, I'm a pretty good detective after all.
Oh, esta puede correr de verdad. Corre. Un poco de aquella manera, pero es correr.
Tell me about the night Daisy was taken, especially anything about your daughter and Suzanne Moreau.
Apart from seeing to our guests, I took a moment to check on Suzanne and Daisy in Daisy's room. Suzanne wasn't there, but Daisy was asleep. I sat with her for 10 minutes or so. Suzanne didn't return while I was there, but there's no reason for her to sit there all night when Daisy is asleep. I went back downstairs.
Okay, the stories Sonia and Suzanne tell don't match. I should recheck my file and track Suzanne's movements.
Vale. Esta es la llamada de la madre al padre, la llamada de la madre a la niñera, la llamada del padre a la madre, la llamada de la niñera a la madre y la llamada al número no identificado. Este es lo que dice que llamó al hospital.
That is not exactly what Suzanne told me earlier. Suzanne was on the phone more than 5
Wow,
minutes.
de 11:45.
That's it. No rookie mistake there.
34 minutos. Hello.
If I understand you correctly, you left Daisy when she was not asleep?
The party was very loud. Daisy was too wound up to sleep. I read her a Motley Mule detective story to try and put her to sleep. Daisy finally fell asleep. Right before Motley Mule solved his case in the book I was reading her. I had to make a quick phone call. No more than 5 minutes. But when I came back, Daisy was gone.
La mula detective.
Are you sure you were only gone for 5
No fueron
minutes?
5.
5, 6, what does it matter? It was very quick.
You say you were only away 5 or 6 minutes, but Mrs. Armstrong says she was alone there more like 10 minutes. And the phone record shows that you stayed on the call for more than 30 minutes, way longer than you said.
My mother is extremely ill. It's difficult for me. I may have lost track of time. When I came back, Daisy had disappeared. It must have been a coincidence.
You have to be precise, Suzanne. A little girl's life is at stake.
Why are you doing this? I didn't do anything wrong. I would never hurt Daisy.
I need to check Suzanne's story. She's panicking. Why now? What is she afraid of?
Wow, ¿qué está pasando aquí? Ah, aparecen 2 cosas nuevas. Verifica, ¿cómo? Oh. Interrogar. Interrogamos. Nos gusta interrogar a la gente. Por lo menos la madre ya nos habla.
I spoke with Suzanne. She was phoning her mother. That's why you didn't see her when you went to check on Daisy.
Yes, her mother. I tried to call the poor woman earlier that week, but the hospital said she's been in a medically induced coma for more than 2 months.
Suzanne told me she called her mother, but she would have known her mother was in a coma.
Algo huele mal.
Did you see Miss Moreau during the party?
I remember seeing her at some point, but otherwise no. I was too busy with my guests. Wear the smile, shake the proffered hand.
Ms. Moreau told me she called her mother.
Well, why not? I believe they are very close, and the poor woman is not well. She needs some experimental treatment that isn't available yet in France.
I won't be long.
Take whatever time you need.
Así que es cierto que su madre está enferma, pero está en coma. Ah, el teléfono está al final. Es 21:40.
The detective gets it right.
The number you have called is not in service at this time. Please hang up and dial again, or contact your service provider.
The number Suzanne called is not in service? A hospital?
Raro. ¿Y el otro minijuego qué es? Sí, tiene sentido. Prepara, está la llamada, entra, sube, coge y saca. Perfecto.
Score. 1 for the good guys. The kidnapper places a ladder under the window to Daisy's room. Then he joins the party, just one guest in the crowd. He somehow knows when Suzanne leaves the room, then sneaks upstairs. He opens Daisy's window, carries her down the ladder, and vanishes.
¿Sabes lo que pasa?
The number you called that night is no longer in service.
I don't understand. That's the number the hospital gave me to call my mother's room.
You told me you were on the phone with your mother when Daisy was abducted.
As we said earlier, I didn't pay attention and was on the phone longer than I said. But since my mother is very ill, she had to leave her hometown, Lyon, because the treatment is not approved yet in France. She is in an hospital in Boston for a special treatment. I call her every night to check on her. When I came back, Daisy was gone. I'll never forgive myself.
Que su madre está en coma.
Are you sure you called your mother?
Yes, every night since she was admitted in December.
Suzanne, I think you really care for Daisy. If you do, then tell me the truth. You can't have been calling your mother while she's in a coma.
My mom really is in a hospital in Boston. She really is in a coma. I wasn't calling her. I was on the phone with my boyfriend, Noah.
Why lie about it? Why are you panicking?
Because he's gone. I haven't heard from him since the night of the kidnapping. I'm afraid he's somehow connected to Daisy's disappearance. That he was just using me somehow. But I swear I talked to him. Yes, for more like 30 minutes that night. So he couldn't have kidnapped Daisy at the same time we were talking.
But he could have kept you talking so someone else could take Daisy.
Yes, you can see why I lied. Can't you? I was
No.
afraid you'd suspect me of having something to do with it. You can understand that, can't you?
Suzanne, I want to believe you, but you've made it harder to find Daisy. Do you realize that?
Oh
Claro.
my God. What have I done?
What's most important is not what you've done,
Es una
but
pista.
what you do now. Go. I'll be back to talk to you. No more lies, Suzanne. For Daisy, no more lies.
Muy bien, pues esto ha sido todo en las chorriaventuras de Blood Cloth en el asesinato en el Orient Express. Hasta la próxima. Adiós.